All right, you bunch of yahoos, strap yourselves in for another episode of Dan and Don's Toxic Masculinity.
In other words, shut up, sit up, and pay attention. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Toxic Masculinity. We are here to entertain, offend, defend anyone and everyone more than anything, hopefully to make you think. And for some of you, it might be for just the very first time. We're here to make you scratch your head, scratch your ass. Just try not to do it at the same time. We have other special features as double D's in your face. And my co-pilot in crime is Don the Predator Frye, and yours truly, Dan to be Severn. So, how did we do there on that flying by the seat of my pants there?
Marvelous.
I think it's good. I think it's good so far.
Hopefully I just simply covered it so just we could basically talk about anything and everything, make fun of people, laugh at people, and then and actually get serious at different times.
When you were talking about double D's in your face, I had a different view than Don and Dan, and then I came back to reality.
You know something, we don't. That's the one thing that we like on the show here. We try to promote someone's span
love
of imagination. Okay.
Educate and entertain. I like it.
Yes. That's the whole purpose of such quotable quotes. It's kind of like, well, we're toxic masculinity. Mr. Frye actually, when he wakes up in the morning, he identifies as a masculine male, and so do I. It's kind of going, huh. So, all right there. So, Mr. Frye, do you want to introduce our guest here today? Maybe I know that we've been flapping our yap right along here right now. So, William, do you pronounce the last name is a
Branum.
Please.
Branum. Branum, yeah.
Branum, okay. And you said you'll go with Will or Will?
William, whatever. Yeah. Either one of those two.
All right.
I'll tell you, he's been Navy SEAL for over 20 years.
26 years. 26 years, 17 days.
Over 20 is,
yeah, you're exactly right. Yeah, 100%, yeah.
Excuse me, sir.
At least.
Okay, but my first question is, at what age were you, and what made you decide that you wanted to go with the military?
So I think I from very young age, I always knew that I wanted to be part of the military in some way. I wanted to be part of some elite unit. My role models growing up was John Wayne. He's got a picture right here. He was the movie Green Beret. He was a Green Beret in Vietnam.
Yes, sir.
There was the movie Delta Force with Chuck Norris. Yeah. There was what else was out there? There was some other John Rambo. He was an Army Ranger.
Yes,
maybe did some other stuff. I grew up watching like Kung Fu theater, so I wanted to be a ninja also when I grew up. And I was also
Dan took your spot in that one.
I'm still working on that one, so that's why I'm hanging out with you guys. Then I wanted to. Then I was heavily involved in the Boy Scouts. I became an Eagle Scout, and I grew up hunting and running around the woods, in camouflage, shooting guns. I thought I was a pretty good swimmer until I actually went to SEAL training, and then I learned that I pretty much suck at swimming, but I am comfortable in the water. And I always knew I wanted to be part of some elite unit. I wanted to fly F-14s, and I wanted to be, something like that. I didn't know what a Navy SEAL was. We didn't have internet back then. The TV that I had growing up, I had like two like knobs on it with rabbit ears, and
two knobs and two channels.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then I told someone that I wanted to be, something like that. And he was like, well, why don't you be a Navy SEAL? I'm like, well, what is a Navy SEAL? He's like, oh, they're like the best of the best as far as like special forces go. They jump out of airplanes, they blow shit up. They scuba dive. They run around in the woods. And I was like, that's what I want. And I think it was really the water component that really drove me to being a SEAL, because I thought I liked scuba diving because I watched National Geographic and things like that, and being underwater was attractive to me at the time. I don't really like going underwater that much anymore. They kind of broke me from wanting to enjoy that piece of it. But so the year between my 11th and 12th grade of high school, a Navy recruiter called me, and he was like, so you ever thought about joining the Navy? Originally, if he'd have called me like 6 months before, I would have been like, hell no. They have the ugliest uniforms. They're wearing bell bottoms and dungarees and the little white Dixie cap. Like, it was like the worst uniform of all the services. Like the Marines, the commercials I watched growing up.
Wait, I need to cut you off there on the bell bottoms and stuff like that. For my friend, I probably have a couple pairs of bell bottoms still in my closet.
Just waiting for them to come back into style.
Yeah, you know what? I think they're back in style now. But and after the Navy, of course, phased them out. But you know, but the Marines, you know, their recruiting commercials were like, you know, they have like a badass uniform and they're fighting dragons with swords, and I'm like, these fucking Marines look pretty good over there. So, but the Marines weren't Navy SEALs. So the Navy recruiter called me and said, "Hey man, have you ever thought about joining the Navy?" And I was like, "Well, I want to be a Navy SEAL and I want to fly F-14s like the movie Top Gun." And we had just finished the first Gulf War, and that war was won by, you know,
airplanes,
air superiority and dropping bombs and doing stuff like that. So those were the two components that I was looking at when I joined the Navy. And then, you know, I joined the Navy, and eventually it took me a while. It took me 3 years from the time I joined because I made some tactical errors in my decision-making process, and before I actually got to go to SEAL training.
But you didn't come from a military family. Your father wasn't.
Well,
military.
actually, my grandfather was in the Navy in World War II, and it's interesting. Like, he used to tell me these stories about, you know, how they taught them how to sneak up behind a sentry, and like they would say, you know, grab his nose and cover his mouth so he can't scream, and then you take your K-bar knife and you shove it into his throat, like, and then you push it out like that, and that's all that he ever told me. Like, you know, my entire youth. And then after I graduated SEAL training, then he told me the same story again that I've heard a million times. And then he said, the first one struggled a lot, and it was like a lot of work. And I had some lessons learned from that. But the second one, I grabbed that dude and took care of business quickly. And I was like, oh shit, that was badass. I had no idea ever. So,
wow.
But I didn't have, like, he just, you know, I knew that he was like a bosun's mate. He drove the little, if you've ever seen the movie Saving Private Ryan, you know, those yep. landing craft, like bringing the Marines ashore. Well, he drove those landing craft into the beach to drop the Marines off. And then he also, you know, I have a picture of his ship that he was on in World War II. And he has these stamps that are underneath the ship with these airplanes crashing into the water, and those were the kamikazes that he got credit for. He's like, I shot down way more than that, but these are the airplanes that I got credit for shooting down during World War II. These kamikaze planes coming to try to like blow us up.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh damn, Papa, you're badass. But that's just my internal monologue.
I love it.
It was a short one too,
you know? Right? Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it is really good there that because usually families that have fathers or uncles and stuff like that
right.
that are in military, they tend to kind of follow in suit there. So,
and my dad was also in the Navy. He was a CB, kind of a construction guy, and but none of their experiences ever was a reason that I wanted to join the military. I just wanted to join the military because I wanted to be part of a small elite unit. I didn't want to be part of like big army and like have these big marching, and I wanted to like shoot guns and blow stuff up and like work as a small team sneaking around and doing cool stuff.
Wow. I mean, did you grow up, because you said you like going out hunting and that,
yep.
Did you grow up like on like a farm area, or did you just
I grew up in Meridian, Mississippi, or outside of Meridian, Mississippi. And so my grandfather, he was part of a hunting camp, and every Saturday we would go hunting. And we'd go, you know, hunt whitetail deer, and then in the spring we would also hunt turkey.
Okay, so definitely it sounds like Grandpa was a big influence there on guns and you know, and getting things done quickly.
Yeah, exactly. And it's interesting. Like after I joined the SEAL teams and I learned how to really shoot guns, and then we went back and we were hunting and, you know, messing around with guns. I realized he didn't really know how to shoot that well. Like, I didn't know it as a kid because I didn't know anything. But as you know, I learned more, and I went back and I was, you know, talking to him and hunting with him and things like that. I realized, like, wow, Papa, you don't know how to, let me teach you how to shoot now. Like, you taught me a bunch of stuff. Let me teach you how to, sight alignment. And like, he would see a deer or whatever, and he would just throw his shotgun up and just blast away, not really hitting in like any vital parts, but we would have to track, these animals for a super long time. But, he got better eventually also. So.
Oh, yeah. I'd say I know Don's heard some of these stories before, but I'm a farmer as well. Shooting at 22, you got to be very accurate. With a shotgun and you throw out buckshot, you just got to get into that general vicinity.
General area, yeah, for sure, yeah.
So, that's...
Get close. Maybe one of those pellets will knock them down.
I don't have to worry about it. When I go bird hunting, like they use 22.
Yeah, I mean, that will make you a better marksman for sure.
Dove hunting.
Yeah.
Use
22 bird?
Yeah.
Wow, they're fast. That's impressive.
And I got some land to sell you too.
That's impressive.
So, how many times have you got shot while hunting?
Only once. Only been shot one time hunting.
You're running around in your deer outfit or what?
I was a turkey outfit actually. Okay. My great uncle mistaken me for a turkey, and then
the uncle he didn't like you, huh?
Well, the story is he had cataracts, and he had a face net over his face. And so he was probably about 15 yards away from me. I was sitting there first. I watched him like walk up. And so I did my turkey call. And he looks at me, and I'm thinking like he sees me. I'm not like super camouflaged. I'm wearing a camouflage hat and like a jacket and blue jeans. And
but it's that red turkey guy.
There's that, my beard wasn't quite in yet, but and so I wanted to look like a good hunter to him. Yeah. Because I was 15 years old, and it was in the afternoon, April, I think. So a lot of mosquitoes flying around. And so I was trying to like wipe them away very like slowly. And he saw this movement of my hand. and because of that, he's like, and I would like maybe do a little more turkey call. There's a difference between a boy turkey and a girl turkey.
Right.
They make different noises. And, but he just heard the turkey call. He saw some movement, and he aimed right where he saw the movement. And I happened to be looking to the right over here, because I'm thinking like turkeys are going to fly in over here or something. And then he shot like boom, and I got hit like sort of the whole side of my body, and in my head and across my face. So like a pellet went through my nose. I've got a bunch of pellets like in my head still. I've got like 30 something pellets in my body, and 2 pellets went between my ribs and into my colon and caused some internal bleeding. But I was like, I had to walk out of the woods. Like, he shot me, and the way it happened, it went down as I'm looking over here, boom!
Ouch.
I'm like, I kind of felt the percussion, the blast of it. It didn't really hurt. I mean, kind of like getting hit with a baseball or something. And but I was like, well, he saw me, so he didn't shoot me. Maybe I got like some of the blast, and I'm thinking there's a turkey over here behind me, and I turn and I look, and it's just like thicket. You can't see like 2 feet into the woods right over here. And I'm like, there's no turkey there. Why? What the hell did he shoot at? And then I get really hot, and I kind of get the metallic taste in my mouth, and my face feels like it's the size of a basketball all of a sudden. I'm like, maybe he shot me. If he did, I'm going to shoot him back. And so if I spit blood, that means he shot me, and I'm going to shoot him back. And so I spit, and it's just nothing but blood. I was like, oh, that's bad. Wait a minute. He saw me. I'm like talking myself out of it. He saw me. No big and then like my arm is starting to like not work properly, and I still more metallic. Like, my face is getting bigger, more swollen, and I'm like, holy shit, I think he shot me. I'm gonna shoot him back. If I spit blood one more time, I'm totally gonna shoot him. And so I spit, nothing but blood, and I'm like, you mother, and I just started swearing at him. You shot me, you son of a, and and so I tried to shoot him back, but because I was hit like in this side of my arm didn't quite work. I couldn't quite get the shotgun up. And he was like, at that point, he's like up, and because like I'm yelling and cussing at him. He's like, what happened? What are you doing here? I'm like, you shot me, you motherfucker. And like, I was a little upset. And he came up, and the first thing he did, he was smart. He took the gun away from me, and he was like, oh, how did that happen? So he had like his son is a grown man, and he was also out hunting with us. So he was deeper in the woods. So I had to walk about a mile back to the car, and then he had to run back down into the woods, find his son, and then we all, drove to the hospital together. And so, I've got a few deployments under my belt as a SEAL, and I never really was too concerned about getting shot in combat. I'm like, what are the odds of, me getting shot again? I mean, the rest of you guys, you're
in trouble.
Like if shit goes sideways, I'm probably not going to get shot again. So yeah, I've been shot. I've been shot only once while hunting.
Well, were you ever shot while you're deployed?
I was never shot while deployed. I was shot at. I had people try to blow me up, but no one ever hit me while deployed. I don't mind getting in a gun battle because I have a pretty good. I think I have pretty good odds on that side of it. I don't like when stuff starts blowing up around me. That's not cool because you don't really have I've never been blown up before. I mean, I've been kind of blown up since then, but getting blown up is not cool. Getting shot at is fine.
I need to go back to. I need to find out how have the Thanksgiving gatherings been affected by this?
People
guys
people
get together and share turkey and stories.
We
definitely
hung out a little bit, but it was funny. The best part was, we show up to the hospital that my grandmother works at. I don't think she liked Uncle Grover that much in the first place. Yeah. And then I'm laying there on the hospital, like in the bed or whatever, and she's like, "Do you want me to go shoot Uncle Grover for you?" I was like, no, it's cool. I think she would have done it, She's still kicking. I just saw her last month. I went home, I went to my son's graduation, and then I flew down to Mississippi for her 93rd birthday. So she's still kicking. She's still got it going on. And I did go hunting with my great uncle since then also.
That was gonna be my question.
Yeah. So we went hunting, and then I dropped off at the first sort of deer stand, and I got up in the tree and I just followed him, crosshairs, don't turn around, that's not going to work out real well for you. And so when we finished hunting and they came out first, they would make sure they knew that they were coming. So that I didn't just start shooting in their direction.
They weren't clicking the antlers.
Yeah, not so much. They're like, "Hello, we're coming up your way." Yeah.
I thought you might have offered them up like a Bullwinkle hat or something like that, has the horns on to or something like that. Yeah. Okay.
Right. Over here.
Oh my God, that's fantastic. Well, I mean, do you have any brothers or other siblings, brothers, sisters?
I have a sister. She still lives in Mississippi. She was not much of a hunter. She's just a, does girl stuff, I guess.
So she's never shot anybody other.
Not that
they show admit.
I don't know that that's true, but I don't know of anyone that she's shot or she's been shot. So.
Well, how deep in the family
it's not a family tradition yet. Yeah. There's still time though.
Yeah, there's plenty of time.
Well, I'm gonna jump around the conversation right now because to see two men that are sitting there wearing a T-shirt that says "Get Naked," I'm thinking, I kind of have to ask some questions here right now. What exactly is this?
My question is,
are you jealous because you weren't invited?
Why don't you have a T-shirt that says "Get Naked"?
Because he showed up late to the party.
Everyone should have a shirt that says "Get Naked."
But as you can see right there, I do have one that says "Signatures for Soldiers."
I'm okay with that one. I'm okay with that one.
So I did that one out of respect for you there, Will. I did it out of respect
I appreciate it. So "Get Naked," that's sort of the slogan, I guess, for Naked Warrior Recovery, and "Get Naked" is it's a lot of things. So for some people, it's mental health. It's take your ego off and stop hiding behind ego and man up. And
you're exposing yourself.
You expose yourself. Yeah. Get out there and don't be scared. Be real. Be authentic. Stop hiding behind
clothes.
Yeah. Stop hiding behind your clothes. Stop hiding behind your ego. Stop hiding behind other people. Just be you. The other piece of it is NAKED is an acronym, and NAKED stands for Never Quit, Accept Failure, Kill Mediocrity, Expose Your Fears, and Do the Work. And so there's a whole line of, I've actually created a website where you can download it's about an 8-page PDF, And the website is 5sealsecrets.com. And you can download the PDF, and you can like kind of read what each one of those letters means, what never quit really means, like, you know, from a Navy SEAL perspective, what accept failure means from a Navy SEAL perspective, and from a broader perspective, killing mediocrity, because we live in a world of mediocrity, like, you know, instant gratification and, you know, scrolling, you know, social media and YouTube. We're just mediocre now. Like, nobody wants to be the best of anything. We're just okay with like, I want my, you know, my government check for not working, and I want my free phone, and I want my free internet, and I want like free shit. Like, go out and work for it, and like earn it. You know, exposing your fears.
Okay,
like,
but Will, I want to stop you right there. I mean, is there really such a thing as free? I mean, you sound like you live in the same world that Don Frye and I live in, this real world, and free. There's no such thing as free.
100%.
Everything will cost you something.
That's what I say. Like, everything costs something. Like, and who's paying for it? Or am I paying for it? Am I paying for you? Well, I should get something from you in return. Like, this is a capitalistic world that we live in, a capitalistic country, economy. Like, we should, like, what is it, value? Like,
or it costs you your own self-pride,
right,
self-dignity, you know?
Right, exactly.
If
so,
you
yeah.
too much free stuff,
There's
too much
nothing
free stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
Too much free stuff takes everything out of you, you know?
Right.
Because you have no dignity, no self-respect.
You're just, like, mediocre, or, you know, you're
a slave. You're
like,
a freaking
exactly.
slave.
Yeah. And so, and there's many levels to that. You can go down the sort of the political route. You can go down, like, just like, I'm a 9-to-5, you know, office worker, and all I do is I show up, I surf YouTube while I'm at the office, and then you know, when I'm done surfing YouTube, I go home, and then I sit on the couch and I watch Netflix, and I'm just mediocre. I'm not really providing value to the world, or to, you know, my family, or to whatever. Like, you know, stop being mediocre, kill mediocrity in your life, and try to be fucking awesome. And yeah, and then expose your fears. That's a whole nother piece where we have these fears that like live in the back of our mind, and they control us. They make us mediocre. They make us quit when we shouldn't be quitting. They, you know, fear, you know, is, you know, what fear is the anticipation of something that has never happened before, probably will never happen to you, but it scares you for whatever reason. And so, and I've experienced all of these things in my own life, my own world, my own realities. And that's why I kind of came up with these 5 SEAL secrets, and part of what Get Naked is all about. And the D is do the work, because like we talked about earlier, there's nothing free in life. It all requires work. And so just get out there and do the work. Never quit, accept failure, because you're going to fail. You're going to fail. Failure is the foundation of success. You know, the greatest successes on the planet have a foundation of failure. I mean, both of you are both UFC champions, and you both have lost in the UFC. Yeah. You know, and
thanks for bringing that up again.
And some of that, some of those, you know, some of those losses.
Who booked this fucker? Jeez.
Some of those losses made you better. You know, you failed in training. You got stronger. You worked out. Your muscles went to failure. You became better. And so, you know, if you look at, you know, Michael Jordan, greatest basketball player of all time, he missed more than 9,000 shots in his career. He lost more than 300 games. He missed, I think, 26 game-winning shots. Still, six rings, and still today, probably he's a billionaire today. And, you know, but he has failure after failure after failure. But what he did, if he missed a shot in a game, he would go work on that shot and then make it better. You know, you have got Steve Jobs, who was fired as a CEO of Apple, the company that he started. And he started another company, and they're like, "Oh, you're okay. You like, sorry, we fired you. Come on back on board." Elon Musk, he was fired as CEO of his first company he started. Billionaire again. Like, we're talking about billionaires here who have massive failure in their life and in their career, but they use that failure as a foundation for success. So if you have like a challenge in front of you, you're going to fail, you're going to fail, you're going to fail, and you build this staircase of failure, and then you just hop right over that thing, and you get ready for the next one. And that's what it's all about.
Mr. Frye, you're supposed to be saying, hoorah, right after that. Come on now. I'm all pumped up here right now. Let's go. What's on the agenda here? I'm all fired up. I'm not even on coffee yet.
I want to say you must have your dollar bill in each of your slippers.
That would be a silver dollar piece in each one of them there. Don.
Yeah.
Come on now. The first one.
Real
But
silver.
no,
Real silver.
I totally agree with the whole attitude that you've got going on this, Will. I mean, there's a lot of people in life that simply lets life happen to them. They don't make life for themselves.
Right, 100%.
And you know you're going to fail somewhere along the way. It's the difference between people being successful and unsuccessful is picking yourself back up, dust yourself off, and just realize, is that the best you got? Let's keep going. Let's roll some more.
Let's keep going. Yeah, exactly.
You're going to get knocked on your ass by life, you know.
It happens.
Oh, I mean,
happens
well,
to the
again,
best of us.
we live in this era of keyboard warriors, to where like they're like going, I could type faster than you, and I could I could use these big old words and stuff like that. They're probably not going to understand. I can't stand when you used to do these interviews that people would come up with little pot shot comments here and there. It's kind of like going, watch this one, delete,
right? Exactly.
Delete, yeah. And move on. To me, it's like going, I don't need those kind of people in my life whatsoever. I'll move on and
get rid of that toxic. Get rid of that toxic shit and move forward.
Yeah.
Just surround yourself with greatness. That's why I'm here. Like, surrounding myself by you two. Like,
I tell you what, I'm liking what you're dishing out there. I'm liking what I want to learn a little bit more about these 5 SEAL secrets. What are the 5 SEALs, or did you? I know you basically covered them all.
So basically,
thank you for watching another episode of Dan and Don's Toxic Masculinity. You better like, subscribe, and share, or I'm going to come to your house.